Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Max Potential Habits podcast. Today, we're trying out a live recording on Facebook. So obviously in the recording, you aren't going to be able to watch this live, but thanks for the people that are here. And I am super excited for today's topic because this is something that comes up with every single person that I work with. And it has to do with stress while building a business. So when Janet reached out to me about podcasts and talked to me about what she talks about and the book that she's written, which is called Stressless Success, I was like, oh yeah, that's an important conversation. So today we have on Janet McKee. She is a former Fortune 500 corporate executive where she nearly died from massive burnout. Hear this all the time from people. So we're going to talk about burnout and stress. She took a massive career leap and now helps people achieve success on their terms without being insanely stressed. She co-authored a book with Tracy, Rock It Out. I love Tracy. And she wrote Stressless Success, which we're going to talk about all kinds of cool topics there. Thank you so much for being on. Welcome to the show today.
Thank you, Dr. Amanda. I'm thrilled to be here and appreciate the opportunity.
Awesome. Yay. I love this. I love talking to powerful women who have figured out ways to love what they're doing in stressless ways. It's very rare. So I want to hear your whole backstory. Tell us where, I don't know much about it. Where were you at the Fortune 500 company? What led to the burnout? Share with us your experiences.
Yes, I was always a high achiever and graduated top of my class in high school, undergrad, graduate school, MBA type, had high pressure, high powered jobs, started at Alcoa and then ended up at Oracle Corporation, super pressure, high power, stress, the whole 9 yards, and literally hit rock bottom. From all the stress and pressure, I had developed an autoimmune disease. And it landed me in the hospital with an illness I couldn't understand and couldn't control. And the doctors gave me no hope. I actually couldn't walk. I couldn't eat. And prior to that, I was a young, athletic, aggressive career woman, right? I used to say I was so aggressive. I was on fire. And I was so on fire that I literally burned out and developed this autoimmune disease. Well, when the doctors gave me no hope, that was very scary. But I got myself out of the hospital and learned how to heal my body naturally. And I didn't know anything about natural health and healing before that. So I became inspired to want to help other people. So I left the corporate world and went to Columbia University and studied wellness and holistic health. And I was working in that regard for about a decade or so and helping people not only prevent, but reverse all kinds of health challenges. But that's when I ran into two more walls in my life. One, my husband of 26 years walked out on me and our son in an hour's notice, left me not only heartbroken, our family ripped apart, but also left me on the brink of financial disaster.
Wow.
Because he had put liens on all these properties I developed while raising our son to buy a business. At the time he was leaving, the business was failing. And not only did I feel like I was standing on thin ice, I felt like the roof above my head was a house of cards because he also put a lien on the home where we lived.
Wow.
I went through, Dr. Amanda, the worst year of my life. I was depressed, stressed out, fearful. Everything had collapsed. And after about 365 days of crying and feeling this way, I said to myself, wait a minute. I used to be this assertive, bright, happy, successful woman. I need to find who that is again. So I literally and figuratively went out around the world and studied with world masters on success, achievement, abundance, positivity, high performance. And each one was like this delicious morsel, right? That I would taste and savor, and I would experience some benefit, but I kept finding myself sort of stuck and frustrated, not achieving the levels that I knew or I felt were possible for me. It was only until I made these incredible discoveries that I've written about in Stressless Success, where I have put it all together in what I call this incredible recipe. And this discovery, which is actually opposite of what many people teach, about positive mindset was the missing ingredient that changed everything for me. And once I began to make that shift, which is actually simple, just not always easy, but it's simple, everything began to happen for me with ease. I no longer was stressing and struggling to achieve the next level of success. Things were happening for me in a way that I never anticipated. And that's why I spent the past year working on putting these ideas and these discoveries in Stressless Success. And imagine for a moment, what are the possibilities that I could have released a book about stress in February of 2020, a month before the pandemic hit, and everything else, right, began to happen in this country and around the world. The timing was miraculous. I couldn't even plan that better. But most importantly, we applied my very discoveries in launching that book, and we launched it ourselves and became #1 bestseller on Amazon in 5 categories because we applied what I share. So we're going to talk about that today.
Wow. So many amazing, I'm just watching and listening and going, yes, 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 across the board. And can't wait to hear what the discoveries are for you. I would imagine in a lot of the ways that I think about positive mindset, how I think people get really stuck before I even know what your secret is. I think people get really stuck in thinking like, try to be positive, try to be positive, try to be positive. And that's not the answer. So I want to know, I can't wait to hear what you're going to say. I'm like on the edge of my seat. Actually,
well,
I'm standing, so I'm on the edge of my desk.
Oh my goodness. No, Dr. Amanda, you just said the most brilliant thing. If you listen to the way you said it, so many people try to be positive. They try to be positive. They try to be positive. Does that feel positive?
Right. Yeah. Because they beat themselves up that they can't be positive.
Exactly.
So already you're setting yourself up for a problem. Yeah. Yeah.
That's stress and struggle. And that's exactly one of the discoveries. We're told, oh, you just need to think positively. Well, you heard my challenges, right? Nearly almost died in the hospital. Husband left me heartbroken, family ripped apart, brink of financial disaster. I mean, when people say, oh, she's got it easy, it's easy for her to think positively. It's like, no, I've faced some serious challenges, but it was through these years of working this and developing this understanding and really getting clear on what's happening that I was working with a client. And that's when the discovery happened, because she was forcing a positive thought about a topic she was fearful over. Mm-hmm. So imagine this, every thought has 2 sides of the coin.
Yeah.
So when you are upset about something, when you're facing a serious challenge and you try to force a positive thought, like you said, trying to think positively, what you're actually doing is putting more of that negative energy out there. So what I discovered is that your mind is different than your energy. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they're in sync and you know it. You know, when everything's going great, it's easy to think positively, right? It's like, oh, I'm having the best day and all this is happening and this is amazing. Sure, it's easy to think positively and that's great. You should. You want to really just nurture all of those great things that are happening and let that momentum flow. But if you're feeling really, really bad about something, very badly about something, and you try to force a thought, you're forcing both sides of that coin out there. Mm-hmm. And what's been proven in scientific research is it's your energy. It's not necessarily what's going on in your mindset. And everybody out there, and I'll make this clear with examples as we go forward, but everybody's focusing on mindset and they're missing the true secret of success, which is your energy. And we'll talk about how to get clear on that and make it happen.
Oh, this is good stuff. Okay, so you know I'm a mindset coach, but it's interesting because my whole thing behind that is alignment of the conscious and unconscious drivers. So you can say you want something, but if 95% of you doesn't believe you can have it or feels really bad about it, or you're hyper focused on the fact that you don't have it, that's what you're actually focused on. So your energy feels stuck, misaligned, and you're not going to be able to get where you want to go. So it's so in alignment
Bingo.
with, yes.
Brilliant.
I love that you're opening the conversation to that, because you're right. When people are down at what they think is their bottom, what could be their bottom at the current moment, it's nearly impossible to think like, oh, positive affirmations are going to get me out of that hole. I mean, it's just not realistic.
Oh yeah, and everything begins with mindset. So make sure that's clear. That mindset is absolutely key.
Yeah.
But you have to begin to go deeper than that and understand what that mindset truly feels like. Because you can force a thought, but if you don't really believe it, if you don't really the feeling behind it can be the opposite of it.
Yeah.
And so that's the nuance that we need to focus on, because it's your energy that truly creates your reality. It's not your thoughts,
right?
But your thoughts create your energy.
The Jerry and Esther Hicks say you can't create out of action what you're missing in energy and alignment. I don't know, that's like the exact quote, but it's like people, and I love the word you're using, force. So you're talking about force. Anytime you force yourself, you're at a low vibrational frequency anyway, right? So we want to step into the power place where our thoughts and our energy are in alignment so that you can move forward. So, I can't wait to read your book. Right up my alley.
Yes, exactly. So you're understanding this, and I want to make sure your listeners understand this. If you don't mind, Dr. Amanda, let me describe how this discovery really became clear to me, and then the solution I provided to that client.
Absolutely.
So this client is CEO of a $250 million company. And she said to me, Janet, everything's going well. I'm successful in my business. And yes, it's stressful, but I'm right now very fearful over my health because of all the stress from my business. I have this chronic pain in my abdomen. She said, but don't worry. I've read all the books about positive thinking and affirmations, and I know what to do. I go to bed at night and I say these positive affirmations. I repeat to myself. And I said to her, Monica, what are you saying to yourself? And she said, I go to bed at night and I say, I'm healthy. I'm healthy. I'm healthy. And I'm listening to her. And even though she's trying to create this positive mindset, this positive affirmation, she was putting more fear into her energy field. Okay, so that was when the light bulb went off. I'm like, oh, no. When you force, right, that positive thought. So here's what I did. And you just said something really key. You said these low vibration energies. So I told her, imagine you're on a ladder. And right now you're on the low rung of a ladder because you're scared about your health. And that low rung of a ladder is filled with fear, anxiety, pain, right? Those are low vibration energy feelings and thoughts. Mm-hmm. You cannot leap, right, from a low rung of a ladder to the top rung of a ladder in one leap. What happens if you try to do that physically? You fall off the ladder and break your leg or worse, okay? That's the problem when we try to leap from a negative feeling and thought to an extremely positive one. It's too far for people.
Yeah.
The way to do it more effectively that feels better, and remember, it's all about the feeling, not just the mindset, okay? Then you climb one rung at a time and you grab hold of the rung, you feel like you got a good grip and you have solid footing by doing this. I said to her, okay, Monica, you're a smart woman, right? Yes, I am. Your body is showing you that something's out of balance. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. And that's a good thing. It's warning you. The pain is a warning sign that something's wrong. Yes, it is. Okay, you're a smart woman. You know there are solutions out there, and you are beginning to search for and uncover solutions for that pain in your abdomen. Yes, I am. So do you see what we're doing? Instead of her leaping to, I'm healthy, we are taking it one rung at a time with thoughts that she believed because they felt good. Now, as soon as you go too far on that ladder and it doesn't feel good anymore, then I suggest you get off the ladder. You walk away from that topic that is upsetting you, and you do something else, anything else, and we'll go through a list of those that help you feel better. Anything you love to do, anything that makes you feel happy and joyful, even in the slightest way. You get off the subject because that subject is too volatile for you, right? And go to something that helps you feel better. Then go back to the subject and you feel more elevated, more open, more expanded in your energy vibration. Okay. The idea behind Stressless Success is we believe we have to stress and struggle to get to success. And all that does is it builds walls of resistance. The walls of resistance block solutions and opportunities from coming to you. So if she's having this fear around her health, I'm healthy, right? All this fear and this bad energy, she's blocking the actual solutions from coming to her. So as we shift her energy, her feelings, because we're choosing thoughts that aren't as extreme, then her energy begins to open up. She begins to relax. She begins to expand. Then what happens are more solutions and ideas and possibilities flow to you. Imagine the feeling of a problem, right? When we get a problem, we think we have to focus on that problem versus the feeling of a solution. And when you imagine and know that a solution for your problems are waiting right there for you, and you open up for them, they arrive. And now your doctor, just let me mention, everything that I share is based on scientific research. You may be familiar with quantum mechanics, which is a theory within quantum physics, where scientific researchers began to uncover that our focus can actually affect the results of a scientific study. Something completely that they didn't think they had control over. So we're beginning to uncover that everything is energy, and the focus of our thoughts, and I take it a step further, and I don't mean to sound so arrogant about that, but I just want you to understand that I'm realizing it's not just your thoughts, it's that feeling behind the thought that creates your energy and can impact your reality. And you'll read in Stressless Success all the quote unquote miracles that happen in my life and the lives of my clients. We literally move mountains in our lives that we were told were impossible, all because we take our power back and we focus on our energy, and we learn to shift our energy, and things around you shift. You know, right now we're dealing with all these problems in the world, and we all feel like we're victims. We're victims of, this virus and the things that are happening in politics and around the world and around the country. And that's giving your power away. And you think you have nothing you can do about it. And so you worry and you develop fear and anxiety. Well, when you learn to take back your power and begin to cultivate more elevated and expanded energy, then the results of your life begin to reflect back to you what you are creating within you. I hope that's beginning to make sense.
It's incredible. It's so in alignment with what I do with my clients and the way that I think about how to create and manifest what you really want, which is Stressless Success. I mean, I think it's such a powerful name because there is a way that high achievers tend to want to push and force, and all the things you talked about at the beginning, where you go like, I'm an achiever, I'm a high achiever, I always create what I want. One of my main mantras used to be hell or high water, I'll make it happen. It's like, what an awful mantra.
Versus I used to say, I'm going to make this succeed, even if it kills me. I'm going to kill myself.
Totally.
It's like, I did almost.
Right. And it's true. And you can do it that way. You can get far. You might burn out to the point of being hospitalized and getting cancer and feeling really bad, which then I love that you said your body is a feedback system. Your emotions and your health is a feedback system warning you that you're out of alignment. So anytime that you feel off in your emotional space and your feelings and or are getting sick, listen to that. It's not something to try to cure with a pill. It's for you to look at and go, I'm out of alignment energetically. My body's telling me to look within and ask myself, am I stressed? Am I joyful? Am I inspired? Or am I resentful? Am I frustrated? Am I forcing? Like all of these hard questions that we don't think to ask ourselves because we so quickly want to get to avoiding the pain part. And instead of looking at it as a guide to where we need to look for our next place of growth to get to the place where we get to be in this flow, a faith-filled flow. So yeah, you're I mean,
oh my goodness, you just said so many amazing
I love.
things. You just said so many amazing things. Let me just say, the way you inquire to your clients and you get them to ask questions, what you're actually doing there is what I describe in my book, Stressless Success, is get out of your head and into your energy. You're actually asking them, well, how are you feeling? Are you frustrated? Are you unhappy? Are you, right? Get out of your head and just be aware of how do you feel? And that's your energy field. And when you're aware of your energy field, then that's where all the power is, because it's really hard to completely control your thoughts. You can't really control your mind all the time. We're human. And if you try to control your mind, you're like wrestling with something that's going in a million directions, right? Not that that's completely off when things are going well, but if instead you could just get out of your head for a while, like, how do I feel? Not what my thoughts are going, because your thoughts are always going to go in a bunch of directions, but how am I feeling right now? And what can I do, even the smallest thing that makes me feel better? And what are those things? I mean, number one, I'm a huge proponent, not only because I was a wellness expert from Columbia, but wellness is the foundation. You've got to get high quality sleep, drink fresh water, eat real food grown from Mother Nature, move your body, and breathe fresh air. It's common sense. It's common sense when nobody's doing it, especially people that are working too hard and stressed out. They think they don't have time to sleep. They think they don't have time to eat healthy. Well, I teach how it's very simple. And when you do, you don't need more time to eat healthy. When you learn how to, you are more energized, have clearer thinking, and you're more productive. And when you're more productive, you're getting more things accomplished in less time, and you actually can end your day feeling more energy instead of exhausted. Like, is that crazy? Like, nobody does it. Well, you can, and it's possible. I prove it all the time. But then what else? So take care of yourself, number one. It's really hard to think positive thoughts when you're exhausted and you're hyped up on sugar and junk food, right? So
yeah.
Right. But then what do you love? What makes you feel more peaceful, more calm? Prayer, meditation, appreciation, gratitude. You hear about all that. I love to get outside in Mother Nature every day. Get outside. Mother Nature has negative ions, which are positive for you. Like, get out just for a moment and look up in the sky and appreciate the sky and the trees and the birds, even if it's raining or snowing or whatever out. Like, it's just amazing for you. And then go back to, working on whatever your challenge is. But I love to listen to uplifting music, dance and sing, walk your dog, pet your cat, play with a child, do anything and anything at all that just helps you feel better almost before you ever try to take action.
Yeah.
You said it earlier, align your energy before action and you will get better results. But let me mention something that also might surprise you and everyone. Negative thoughts are actually a positive thing. There's another secret.
I know, I want to hear more.
Okay, because you said
listen
something.
Up, everyone.
Because you said something really powerful. You're like, we're always like worried about our negative thoughts, right? You said something like that. Okay. And that was brilliant because yes, you're right. We all worry. And then we try to fight against them, don't we?
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking a
Which
negative
just creates
thought.
More negativity.
Yeah. Like I'm going to wrestle that negative thought and I'm going to fight that negative thought and I'm going to get rid of that negative thought. Well, anything you push against, anything you fight against gets stronger and it gets the power. You're giving your energy away when you push against something. All right. So how can a negative thought be a positive thing? A couple reasons. Number one, the negative thought or the negative feeling, either one, the two related, it's like a sign letting you know you're getting off your path. So imagine this. Another analogy. You're driving down the highway and the road is clear and you're heading for the future that you want and desire. And you're driving along the highway and you start to daydream and you look off into the scenery and your car starts to veer off the road and you hit the rumble strips, right? It's like boom, 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 boom. They feel uncomfortable. Well, imagine that's a negative thought. It's something that feels uncomfortable. And when you're aware of it, you don't fight against it because you're like, oh, it's that rumble strip on the side of the road. It's that red flag saying, warning, you're getting off your path. You are thinking a thought that feels uncomfortable, which means it's affecting your energy vibration, which is affecting the outcome of your life. So that negative thought is a brilliant thing because it's showing you, hey, be aware, you're getting off your path. Number one. Number two, negative situations, contrast in our lives are the exact thing that fuel desire for better. When something challenging happens, okay, you heard about my challenges, and every single challenge taught me something. I am grateful for every single challenge that happened to me. My health challenge taught me how to be healthier than ever. Right? At my age, 55, I have no illness whatsoever, no medication whatsoever, and it's been decades, and the doctor told me it was impossible 20 years ago, okay? I am healthier than ever because I almost died in the hospital. Like, that is a huge gift. That challenge was amazing. If it wasn't for my husband walking out, leaving me heartbroken and depressed and at the brink of financial disaster, would I have ever gone out to search for these answers that I now share with people? These challenges in our lives are amazing. They fuel desire. They fuel creation. Right? For better, for solutions, when you react to them that way. So when a challenge happens, right, you say, oh, wait a minute. I've learned so much from my past challenges. They've taught me so much. I'm stronger and wiser. I wonder what this negative situation might be showing me, might be teaching me. What good may come of this? I mean, look at what's happening in the world. This is exciting times. These are very exciting times because we're learning to be more aware of our immune system and our personal hygiene. We're learning about, okay, we are dealing even with social unrest and challenges. This can be exciting if we use that energy to fuel desire for better, for solutions. These are good things. Now imagine if you look at your negative thoughts now that way, that they're not a bad thing. Doesn't that feel better?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, everyone needs to rewind and listen to that again because it's so incredibly powerful. And I'm sitting here listening to you just going like, yes, 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 yes. I mean, you know, when you think about, a lot of us avoid the negative, we try to avoid the negative, which makes it grow. And then we try to resist it, which makes it grow, instead of looking at it as a redirect. I love that analogy you used, or that, you know, it's like, okay, you're heading off course and there's going to be a bump in the road that's going to help you see, oh, get back on course, get back aligned, right? And you just get back into alignment. You go, oh yeah. And then you're going to probably get off course again. And then you get back on course again. But it's your conscious awareness and your willingness to look at the negative thought and question it and sit with it and energetically shift it instead of trying to fight and avoid it, because it's impossible. And I love, love, love. So have you read any of John DeMartini's work? Do you know Dr. John DeMartini? Do you know, like, I know you talked about
the name's familiar.
Okay.
But I'm not
so yeah, you're talking about a lot of the stuff so that's my training. And it's funny because he talks about voids creating your values. And it's the same exact thing as challenges creating your desire, right? I wouldn't be where I am today if I hadn't been at the bottom of the financial realm. I was like, oh, I'm on food stamps and I'm so tired of living in survival mode and I want to get out of this situation. It caused me to focus on wealth building. And I would not be having this conversation with you right now and experiencing the life I had if I didn't have those challenges. So it's,
and look at
so
you,
powerful.
Your challenges in life created who you are, that
Absolutely.
Now we're sharing this these brilliant ideas together back and forth for people in the world to learn and benefit. Like, our challenges led us to this very moment. It's incredible. It's incredible. And remember, those rumble strips are keeping you from driving off the cliff. Right?
Totally.
So these little negative thoughts and these discomforts are there to just let you know, wait a minute, there is another way. There are solutions. And when you just take a deep breath and say, okay, there's something good hidden in this, even if it just gets you to a level of acceptance. Acceptance feels better than fear, worry, and frustration and anger.
Yeah.
Right? And again, that's on the ladder. It's midway on the ladder.
Yeah. Have you, there's so many things you've said. Have you read David Hawkins' work, Power versus Force?
I've heard about that book so many times. I have to read it.
Okay, but you have to read it, but it's like exactly the ladder you're talking about. I have it on my wall, so I'm going to look over here. Okay, so he talks about the consciousness levels and how, shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride are at the bottom. And then as you move up, like in this ladder-like way, you move up to acceptance, and then reason, love, joy, peace, and enlightenment, right? So it's exactly what you're describing.
Dr. Hawkins. He is that energy vibration scale. I'm familiar with his work. I just haven't read the book. Oh yes. I even refer to him in my book, The Scale.
Totally. And you think about that and you just go like, if you question yourself every day and go like, where am I calibrating right now? Am I in a space of joy and love, or am I in a space of guilt, shame, fear? Just that question alone can help you go, okay, awesome. I'm getting some negative feedback that I'm in a space of fear. What am I going to do to shift my energy? I call it sounds like you and I have so many similar things. I love it. I have an emergency shift list. So it's to shift your energy in a different direction. It's all those things like you talked about, like get out into nature, pet your cat, hang out with your family, eat good foods you love, move your body, meditate, those kind of things. And it's like, I love at the beginning you said that this is so easy, right? Like it's so incredibly simple, but not easy, right?
It's simple. It's not, okay.
Right? Simple
if you have a real challenge you're facing, and it's like, what happens is then they check their energy, but they're checking it on that challenge.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm feeling really fearful right now. I got to feel better on this topic.
Right.
So they struggle and wrestle with that topic. So I love your shift list, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that, because then get off the topic, walk away from the ladder and use those tools in your hip pocket. Would you use a shift list?
Emergency shift list.
Emergency shift list. I love that.
Yeah.
Can't say that fast, but yes, I love that. That's perfect. Because everyone can have their shift list in their hip pocket, whatever it is, and then just walk away from the topic for a while. Elevate your energy and then go back to the topic and you feel clearer. Because think about it. When you're stressed, blood drains from your brain to go to your extremities. You get in that fight or flight mode. So you can either fight or run. So blood goes from your brain to your extremities. You can't think clearly about the very topic that is stressing you out when you are stressed. So when you walk away, pull out that emergency shift list and pick a few things on that list, and keep playing around until you start to feel even slightly better. You don't have to be perfect at this. Like every morning before we were launching my book, we would say to my team, my son and I works for me, we would say, okay, how's your energy? We wouldn't say, what are you thinking? We're like, how's your energy? And if our energy was off at all, we weren't perfect at it, but we would work our energy, do something to feel better. And then we would get back to the work, the task of the book launch. And we were not perfect at it, Dr. Amanda. We were okay at it, and we still exceeded our goal by 5 times. Actually, more than 5 times. We thought, well, gosh, if we could get on the top 100 list, we could say we're a bestseller if you're in the top 100 Amazon. Then we thought, well, if we got on the top 10, at least we'll show up on searches when people are searching. Well, that would be cool. We ended up on number 1 on 5 categories. Okay, so we weren't even perfect at it. We're still students of our own teachings, and we still exceeded our goal. So at the very, very, very beginning of this podcast, you said another very important thing. You said people have goals and they say, I want something. And when you come from a place of want, you're coming from a place of lack. Mm-hmm. So if you say, I want the promotion, it's coming from the place you don't have it. So pay attention to what you're putting in your energy field, because if you say, I want to be healthier. I want to be thin. That happens a lot, right? People want to lose weight. I want to be thinner. Well, they're coming from a place that they're not, and they're unhappy. It's uncomfortable to want. And you will achieve your goal if you follow all the goal setting strategies. When you say, I want to be thin, you'll achieve the goal of wanting. You'll never achieve the outcome that you want.
Okay, let's dig here a little, because I love this. And I definitely am help people be conscious of their language. And I want to talk a little about the nuance between want versus desire, because we're talking about how the negative creates the desire, which creates the outcome, right? So let's dig there a little bit. Like what would you have people say instead of I want this?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. And some of this you will hear from other people, but then I'm going to give you the final piece, which is another one of my surprising secrets to success that I've never heard anybody mention before. Okay. So you've all heard about goal setting strategies where you write your goals down, and I agree. You will hear from other people, and I've learned this from Brian Tracy, who I worked with, and we did a book together. Okay. That you don't write it. You write it in the present tense as if it's already achieved. I am thin. I am the new vice president. If that doesn't feel good, though, it's too far for you, right? Then you say something like, I enjoy discovering healthier ways to eat. I enjoy the process of learning how to be healthier. I'm excited about the possibility of becoming the next vice president. Okay, so very important what you write. It needs to be a push goal a little bit. You want to push yourself a little bit, but watch how you feel when you write it, okay? But then why? Why do you want that goal? And let's look at that, for example. I want a new house. Why? Well, I want a bigger house. Why? Well, I want more space for my family and in a nicer neighborhood. Why? Because it will feel safer and feel more comfortable. So what you really are after is the feeling of safety and comfort.
Yeah.
So on your goal list, are you ready? This is the surprising secret. You have, I am thin. I am the new vice president. I have this new beautiful home, whatever, in the present tense. Then right next to it, what it feels like. What does it feel like as if it's already real? What does it feel like to be thinner or healthier? What does it feel like to be the vice president in the corner office and have these amazing team people that, your team lead that you inspire every day? What does it feel like to be in that home of your dreams? And when you read your goal list every day, you read, I am, but then I want you to spend time on the feeling list. Because what's happening, Dr. Amanda, when you focus on what does it feel like to be thinner and healthier? What does it feel like to be the vice president? What you're doing is you're shifting your energy vibration. And when you shift your energy vibration, the world can only match you at your energy vibration with results. And I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Now, again, that's simple, but it takes practice. Yeah. It takes practice. Yeah. So just like a professional athlete, think about it. NFL superstar, they know how to play their game, right? But they practice every day. And also they have a bunch of coaches. If you coach people, people need coaching, okay? They have a whole team of coaches. They're experts. The most successful people have coaches. What about a professional musician? They practice every day. All I'm asking people is to get out of your head and focus on your energy. Be aware of your energy. Pull out that shift list and do anything to shift your energy higher. And then take action toward your goals and get the feeling as if it's already real. And I'm telling you, your life is going to change in the most dramatic ways than you could have ever imagined.
Janet, seriously, awesome. I mean, I'm sitting here just thinking like listeners need to rewind to the beginning and listen through, and then rewind to the beginning again and listen through. And just like you're saying, because it's practice. So I talk a lot about mindset, like training your mindset. And in my work, I talk about your feelings as being the guide to where your thoughts are leading you. So it's like
Perfect.
you and I resonate very, very similar worlds. I mean, I think that idea between, you're talking about, I wrote something down. I really wanted to like dig there. It was when we're thinking about goals and getting into the power of the feeling. And I want everyone to really remember how, I mean, that is like critical to your success, and let's say stressless success. If you just implement that one thing from this podcast, that alone would change your reality. So it's you deciding, this is something that I have, that, I want this. This is a goal. Okay. Then you go to the why do you want it? So you get really crystal clear, because like, let's say you want $1 million. Why do you want the $1 million? The $1 million sitting in a pot in your room isn't going to do you any good unless you're doing something with it. So what is it you want with it? And then you dig into that feeling around it and go, well, really, ultimately, I want to feel free. I want to feel like I have options. I want to feel connected to people. I want to be a philanthropist. I want whatever it is for you. And what would being a philanthropist make you feel? Oh, I get to feel like I have meaning and purpose in life. And dig to raise that awareness for yourself of the feeling you want to have. And then I love it. Resonate at that energy. And through the law of attraction, which is a universal law, you're going to attract to you that vibrational frequency. Gold mine right there. Like, really, thank you. Awesome.
I'm so glad you're we're on the same page. I understand what I'm saying, because I want to make sure that when I'm expressing, people are being clear on. And so that back and forth
you
between us is
beautifully.
If you just remember everything's energy, and you just focus on how you feel. Like, what is your energy? Be aware of it throughout the day. And mine goes up and down like everyone's. Some days I'm like riding high, in the moment I'm riding high, and then something happens and I'm concerned, and then I'm aware of it. I'm like, okay, what can I do to feel better for the moment before I take my next action? Just pay attention to that and know that all these challenges, all these negative thoughts are going to happen. It's part of life. We're all human. It's creation. We're we're on the edge of creation right here. And it's an incredible thing.
Yeah. Oh,
and the whole goal setting thing, by the way, there is a chapter in Stressless Success where I go in detail.
Awesome.
So people don't have to remember all of this. Grab the book. We are giving it away for free at stresslesssuccess.com. I know we're going to talk about that, but just so you know, there's very detailed step-by-step. The book, I literally take the reader by the hand and walk them through all of these concepts. And there's also a workbook that comes along with it.
Yeah, this is, since we're there, well, actually, let's do this first. I mean, I could literally talk to you for 10 hours at least. It's such a juicy conversation, like really very, very, very value filled. And I mean, really, everyone listening, this has been the secret to my transformation from where I've gone in the last few years. I mean, everything you've highlighted, it has been, I'm just gobbling it up. I'm like, yes, this is awesome. So I cannot wait to read your book. First, tell us, what would you say are the top 3 max potential habits that got you where you are today? I like to always ask listeners that, because this is Max Potential Habits podcast. So what would you share with listeners there?
Okay. Number 1, I'm going to say it again, is wellness. Okay. I make my wellness number 1 priority. And actually in our research, 20 years of the world's most accomplished people, they know their wellness is important. Get sleep, drink fresh water, move your body, breathe fresh air, eat real food. It's simple, because that is the foundation. Imagine you're building your house, the foundation, right? You wouldn't try to prop yourself up on toothpicks, and that's no sleep, caffeine, sugar, junk food, right? Okay. So build that foundation, number 1. And I am just adamant about it if you want to begin to improve your life. Number 2, I am always focusing on my energy, as we talked about. And I make that something that I'm aware of all throughout my day, every day. And what's really helpful is, again, let's look at building the foundation of energy on top of wellness. The very first thing when I wake up in the morning is I pay attention to what thoughts are automatically happening in my head. And instead of just letting thoughts just happen, I then reach for a thought that feels better. So, you wake up in the morning like, oh no, it's a work day and I've got to do this, I've got to do that, and I've got to feed the kids and walk the dog and what, okay. And I got to get to work and my boss and this. So all these things happen naturally. So I'm aware of it and I create something that feels good. And I used to say, oh, I'm going to have a great day. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to meet good people. And that was helping. Do you know what I say to myself every morning? to build the energy foundation, Dr. Amanda, I say, today is going to be the best day of my life. And I get the feeling as if it is. And guess what today is?
Love
the best
it.
of my life, because I'm here talking to you about all these great things. Okay. Number two is energy. Everything's energy. So I'm always feeling my energy and doing my tools to shift my energy. And number three, to truly be successful. Say you're running a business or you're working a team in your company. It's not about you. It's about the other people. I always put my customers first, my clients first. If you focus away from you and to the people, your family members, your team members, your employees, your clients, whatever that is in your professional life and your personal life, it's not about you, it's about them. And you put that energy, then everything you do is going to benefit them. And that's going to build a successful business, a successful department, whatever it is, a successful personal life. Just imagine that. And I think those are my three things that I do.
So good. So good. Okay. I'm certain that everyone listening and watching is going to want your book. So the awesome thing, and I know you said you're not sure how long this will last. So maybe in the release of the episode that's not live, I don't know if it'll be free, but tell people where they can find your book and find you. Obviously, it's on Amazon. So Stressless Success. You can get it there. But right now, it's free. So awesome.
We'll have stresslesssuccess.com available.
Okay.
For some, so always we'll give away an immediate download of a 3-day Banish Burnout plan.
Okay.
To help boost your bottom line. That's every bottom line. Okay. So always there'll be access to an immediate download to start applying these principles immediately to get immediate results. And then there will be information either to have an option to order a free paperback copy of Stressless Success. You just have to pay shipping and handling, give it to you, or there'll be other things depending on if somebody's listening to this a year from now or something, there'll be opportunities. JanetMcKee.com would always be a good place to go to learn about having me come into your organization and hold a workshop or speak, or come to one of my offsite empowerment leadership retreats with which Dr. Amanda, you and I should team up sometime. And I would love to have you as a guest speaker, one of my empowerment retreats, or any other way they can gain access. And there's lots of free information on that site.
Awesome. Okay. So for people listening, Janet McKee, and it's MCKEE, which I think I typed wrong in there, but the link will be in the show notes. So for anyone listening, go to the show notes. I'll have all the right links there. And yes. I am so psyched I got to have you on today.
You know, I can feel and I can sense your energy through all this technology. And I think it's because I'm looking at your face and just your response and the interaction and the comments that you made. I can see that you practice what you teach. I really can. And I love that about you. The work you're doing is brilliant, Dr. Amanda. And I'm honored to have an opportunity to speak with you and share these ideas together with your audience.
Thank you. I mean, you are high vibe, and it's just like, I feel the same way. I was just listening to you and watching you, and I'm like, the inspirational energy that goes between us is like, oh yes, that's, and for everyone listening, that's what you want to create in your life, right? That's what you want to create. Like, share your wealth of your gifts, your wealth of knowledge, your energy with other people. And then you just get to resonate together and keep expanding and growing. And to me, there's nothing better.
Yay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So thank you. So great to have you here.
Great.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Make sure you get her book. Again, Stressless Success. Links will be in the show notes. Thank you so much for being here. I know this is an episode that you're going to want to listen to time and time again. So favorite it, blast it out to the social media channels for other people who need to hear this information. I mean, this really is game-changing, life-altering information that you just got today. Like, seriously, I cannot stress enough that the content and value here is like, this is everything I've been implementing in my life. You just like perfectly stated, and I'm sure it's in your book. So really, everyone, get the book, come back. I'll be here every week, just like I always am, to bring you tips, tools, inspirational interviews. I hope you have a max potential week where you thrive and feel alive. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Max Potential Habits podcast. If you're liking what you've heard, it would be so incredibly awesome if you would subscribe to the channel and leave a 5-star rating and a written review. This helps me help more people while we grow our NFA community so we can rock it out together. For Max Potential Habits resources, go to nfacoaching.com where you can access all of my resources. There's free ebooks, PDF checklists, a journal template, a business mindset meditation kit, and so much more. Plus, links to NFA coaching on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And if you're super serious about up-leveling, there's also a link to schedule a free consult to work with me in group or one-on-one coaching. Until next time, I hope you have a Max Potential Habits Day where you get inspired to do whatever it takes to transform into the most empowered version of yourself so you can lead a rich, thriving, kick-ass life and business.